close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us.
Good morning, good morning. What is up? Juan says nice market manipulation happening. What is going on? Do we think that there's some manipulation out there? We'll see or not. We'll see. Good morning, though. Juan, My Views, Jake, Autumn, Huncho City, Xavier, Chase, M-Dub, Isaac, Mr. Wu, Joe Papa. Good morning, good morning. Curious if Intel will taper or keep it going into the weekend. That's my target for it way quicker than expected. Hit your target really fast. Intel pulling back in a good way. Ran up to 25, of course, slowing down slightly, but overall they've been pretty hot. Good morning, Charles. Welcome up, welcome up. What's up, Mr. Charles? Steve. We have Mr. Charles and Sir Charles. Is that the same person on two accounts? Wow. Good morning. Mr. Charles's wishes. Let's go back to that SPY. Getting pretty wild on the pullback here, down towards 645. Wow, a lot of red action here at open today. Look at the 1 minute candles. That's a pretty rough pullback under 645. Watch out for this 645 area. If we start to really break down 645 even, watch out. Right now, we're actually breaking the previous resistance, which is around 645.20. It did like touch this and break down slightly. So we'll see if we get a bounce or not. It's probably going to attempt one. Waiting to see where the tone is headed before open, Charles said. Charles, what's up? I can't tell by the picture, but are you the guy with that 1,000 horsepower M4? It almost looks like that same picture. City Junior, any idea where MSTR has a huge sell-off? Crazy. Let's see, Tesla bouncing down to 335. Oh, hell yeah. Let's go, Charles. I've been looking at some M5s. But yeah, Tesla pulling back to 335. Gonna be watching for the possible gap fill. That is pretty brutal with Tesla. A lot of red action at open here. They actually had I would say the first 2 to 3 candles were pretty fire. After that, though, I ended up giving it back. Ooh, it floated away in a hurricane. No, Charles. No wonder it was built. That's pretty cool, though. I bet it's a cool story car. It's not every day you get one of those that are fully built like that. QQQ bouncing at 578.50. A little bit different than the SPY this morning. Seems like it's falling off a bit more. What's up, Tashana? Any reason why MSTR has a huge sell-off? Crazy. MSTR is pulling back. 365 support from yesterday breaking down. We called it out on last night's video. One of the downside momentum plays underneath 364. It's starting to play out pretty well here today. Join late, Jesse said. Any chance we can talk about UNH? For sure, Jesse. Hey, better late than never. Thanks for joining up. I like that name. UNH. Glad to see you back, by the way. UNH tried to bounce a little bit more this morning. You know, it's pulling back slightly, touching 296. It's underneath 300 right now. I think this looks pretty brutal on United Health. I don't love to see it pulling back like this so far at open. I would say, though, I'm pretty neutral on it. I do like this support right around 290 to 291. So I would think it could maybe bounce and hold there. But I'm pretty neutral overall. It's more of a game of momentum. Right now, the momentum's kind of trying to point back up after dipping. And I don't really love it how it's rejecting at 300 once again. And now if we can see some good momentum get us past $300 and like a true breakout going, then maybe look at some momentum there. But it's not my favorite intraday setup. I just don't love the way it's really moving right here. It's not a very directional move in my eyes. No problem, Jesse. LVS popping 54.50. Looking pretty fire right there. How's Caesars? Maybe go check on MGM. Some of these other stocks.
Invincible.
How are the IPOs today? Figma, Fly, Bullish, and BMNR. You forgot about Circle. You can't forget about Circle, Autumn. That's like the best one. It won't even pull up Figma for me, though. Come on. Don't you dare. All right. We'll pull it up on Thinkorswim then, because it doesn't want to work. Figma. Pulling back a little bit this morning. It's still up 1% on the day, but pretty rough overall. Let's see, Fly. 0.79%. BLSH. BLSH. Blush. No, Bullish. I don't know why I think of blush when I hear that. This would actually be a perfect ticker for like a makeup brand. Nonetheless, though, BLSH pulling back down 3.7% today. Pretty rough action so far. I don't love it since open. Why is that, City? Oh no, that's TradingView's fault, City. That's not my fault. BMNR pulling back 7%. See how Thinkorswim works, City? My PC's fine. If you actually knew how good it was, dude. I told you this yesterday. AMD is going to break the 176 gap. When do you think is a good entry? AMD breaking the 176 gap. BMNR is straight to the downside. 7.3%. Gosh, Autumn. Every single one is down. Besides Circle, which I keep trying to say you leave it out. No, I'm kidding. Circle's doing good, though. Up 3%. Looks pretty momentum-filled, momentum-driven here. It is pretty fire today. You know, if you look at Circle on like a daily, it was like, it pretty much popped straight up on the IPO, Autumn. That's why I'm saying it's one of the good ones. I guess CoreWeave or BMNR you could count as pretty good too. But BMNR again. It's not really like it started popping more on Tom Lee joining the board, but still. My view said in Palantir puts. PLTR. Wow, sounds pretty good the way it's moving right now. The implied volatility on Palantir has been dipping lately as it's been ripping to the upside. This actually could be a good opportunity if the IV starts to shoot up and the stock drops a little bit. These puts could end up exploding in premium. I like the opportunity if you have some strong convictions that Palantir can continue down. It was a pretty good one, Autumn. I didn't compare it directly to CoreWeave from IPO, but both did pretty good. But it is definitely one of the better ones. Today, I can't, it's not even up that much, really. 3% for CoreWeave is actually slow. Or sorry, for Circle. Charles says, check out ESGLF for the long term. They have patents on proprietary tech for the mining industry. NVRO clean leach, 87% recovery versus industry standard, less than 30%. Applies to MP materials. Whoa. Let's go check out MP first. He said check out ESGLF. Never heard of this one. Let's see. Envirogold Global. What an interesting name. It's a 6-cent stock. Oh no. Oh no. Dang, Charles, I don't know about this one. I try to stay away from these types of stocks if I'm being honest. I understand that there could be some type of thesis based off of what you said, but I generally try to stay away, man. I haven't traded a stock less than 50 cents in maybe, well, since I traded PLNH. I think I bought that 2 years ago. And it wasn't even this low. It was like 60 cents. Oh, there you go. There's a whole bunch of buy and sell orders on it. That's funny. A little bit goes a long way with these stocks. Cheapy, they're out of Australia. I don't disagree. I'm just thinking about the patent licensing. Yes. Yes, I agree with you. ESGLF. Well, it's an interesting one, 6 cents. I've never heard of it. Again, I don't really know the patents even too much. Like at all, really. So it sounds interesting, though. He said patents on the proprietary tech for the mining industry. Hopefully those patents start paying off soon. I do gotta say, on this recent dip, they don't look too bad. They've been trending down pretty perfectly. You could almost say it's in a channel. Channeling down for now, but it does seem like almost like a bearish channel where we're gonna be breaking back out eventually, and I would like to see that. Regulatory for anyone going into Ukraine. Do what? Just like going in there to mine, right? My view says, how is Palantir on the book map? Let's see, PLTR. Palantir, very nice resistance at $180. Rejected there this morning, right at open, unfortunately. 185, solid resistance as well. Looks pretty brutal to the downside. It even broke under 175. That is a pretty bad move. Wow, watch for 170 to come up here. 69,000. Good Friday, J Bass. Happy Friday. Welcome up. When I think of Ukraine right now, Charles, I don't think of mining. I can say that. Trey says, is SPY going to go up? SPY. Let's check it. 5-minute chart. Looks pretty brutal right here. I'm not leaning up off the opening move, that's for sure. Yeah, not right now, Chase, but maybe in a little bit, but I watched too much footage of that place. Wow, SPY is really pulling back at open here. 645 breakdown is pretty brutal. That is a pretty rough move to the downside. Check out UVXY even on this move. We're seeing a pretty good jump there. Whoa, Mason shot a 77 yesterday. I think that ties my all-time low, Mason. Okay, well, I shot a 72, but it was at a bad course, so I can't really... I mean, we're talking like a 5,400-yard thing or something, you know. It wasn't like it was 6,400 or it wasn't like 6,400 or 7,000 or something, but you could have went under, man. He was -2 through 8 on the front. Oh, man. That's a good score, though. Can you check on Pony? Yeah, sure. Do you follow Kangaroo Golf? I've never heard of that one either. Kangaroo Golf. That makes me think of the movie Big Daddy, how the kid would jump around and say, "Kangaroo time." You send your scorecard and off topic? Awesome. Yeah, I want to see that one. Except for hole 9. I hope I'm saying your name right, but Bow. NVIDIA 178. NVDA $178. Just want to make sure I'm saying it right. Wow, NVIDIA is pulling back under major support here in the short term. This 179 breakdown happening is pretty rough, Bow. That is brutal. It's starting to break pretty major support. Uh-oh. Not good for NVIDIA. Let's go see Mason's scorecard here. Mason, I'm going to go see the Cardinals versus the Yankees tonight with my daughter. Heck yeah. Sitting in the nosebleeds today. Yeah, you're right, I better. You are correct. NVIDIA pulling back quite hard here. Ryan, are you in here? I'm only going to watch Aaron Judge. I'm not going to watch the Cardinals at all. I'm sorry, Autumn. No, I'm just kidding. I'll be wearing a Cardinals jersey for sure. Haha, Ryan. Cardinals and Yankees tonight. Cardinals are going to spank them. Aw, Mason uses 18 birdies. Man, everyone I know uses 18 birdies. No one uses the Grint like I use. Let's go, Robert. Appreciate that, my man. Thoughts on Figma for the day. Stay blessed, boss, for sure. Let's go check it out real fast. We'll look at Mason's scorecard in a minute. Let's go see Figma, FIG, pulling back. I know Autumn's been watching Figma a lot. Goldie's hurt. I know, Autumn. I wanted him to be playing. Although maybe it's a good thing. I don't know. The St. Louis fans aren't very happy right now. Although I loved Goldschmidt myself. Ryan will be tuning in. Thoughts on Figma for the day. Right now, Figma's really trying to hold this overall support around $77. I actually like the way it's bouncing so far. I think that there's a shot that it holds. If you wanted to try to go long Figma here, I don't think it's the worst play ever. But you gotta realize that if it does break below like the low of yesterday, I think you could stop out pretty quick. But look at the stop loss and look at the target. You know, I would say targeting like 80 bucks is the way to go, right? This makes the risk reward not quite over 2, but it is over 1, which is solid. You know, 1.8 essentially, if we take it up to 80. 1.8. I like it. I like the support trying to hold. It's a big support from the past few days. You would really be trusting it. There is always a shot that it breaks down. Again, that's why you got a tight stop. So, I don't know. I like it overall, personally. It's a pretty decent support. But if this does start to give out, you know, like I said, cut and maybe even look at shifting to the downside a little bit. But it's been really stuck around this range the past few trading days. And with Figma overall, I'm just going to be 100% honest here, and, you know, we'll check back in a few weeks and few months and see if I'm right, but I think Figma is going to sell off like crazy. I really do. I think it could sell off in a major way. And I don't mean that to hopefully make anybody sad, but that is what I'm looking for. I think that a lot of these IPOs recently have become way overpriced and that they're going to end up crashing down. Only with Figma though. I like these IPOs that are a little bit overextended right now. And it might not be on this exact support, but just over the next few weeks to few months. Don't worry, we'll be checking in. I'll stick by my word with those. Circle's pulling back pretty hard following its IPO run. We'll see if they end up getting back to their actual price that they ended up coming onto the market at, like 70 bucks or so. Did you give your thoughts on Pony? Let me go check Pony really fast. Pony AI, right on key resistance. Look at the daily chart. Look at resistance here. This is a big level for Pony. It's having a little bit of trouble here, though. If we could end up ripping above $16, then watch Pony to the upside. I like the potential here for a breakout coming into play. This is pretty solid. I've got a question out there. Is there any Photoshop enthusiasts out there? Any Photoshop experts watching the live right now? If you're really good with Photoshop, shoot me a private message on Discord, please. But you got to be really good. Chase goes, oh God. Nah, it's pretty easy. We're looking to have some arrows made for a thumbnail. If you guys are good at Photoshop, I'd appreciate some help with some arrows. Checking out the 15-minute chart on QQQ. 576 is bouncing pretty well here. Yeah, Bow. I mean, you know, we'll pay a little bit. It should be pretty simple with arrows, though. For sure, though, you know, we'll pay. 100%, man. We would talk about that in the DM, of course. 330 bouncing well on Tesla from yesterday, but today pulling back. We'll see if it ends up bouncing there again. It's about $2 off. QQQ bouncing off a good level. You think it's on its way back up, Steve said. Man, we need to really see some good tech stocks moving, if that's the case. Nvidia's starting to try and to bounce around 178. Man, they pulled under 180 today, though. I'm pretty worried about them hitting 180 and holding it as resistance and falling lower. That would be pretty rough to see. I am worried about this. There could be a larger pullback there. GitLab, let's see. GTLB. GitLab. Trying to pop up here, up 4.8%. Looking at the hourly, man, GitLab is on fire. What a good run by them. That is a pretty good run right now by GTLB. It's getting a little overextended, but there we go. Been playing UNH, Christian said. Stick with the Momo. United Health. Interesting. Makes sense, Christian. I'm not surprised, you know, with Warren Buffy buying in. Warren Buffet, as we like to say. City Juniors placing QQQM and SPLG orders at the low of the day. UNH is really trying to hold its ground here, guys. Watch out for a potential uptrend. This is looking solid with Warren Buffet from yesterday. If you didn't know, I think he bought like $1.6 billion worth of this stock. Quite a bit. Anytime he buys in, you know, it's a pretty important deal. Everybody looks at the stock then. Lots of people buy in literally just following him, so. AMATSM said. Applied Materials down 11%, but trying to come back. I don't know what to think about this one. SM. Down so much on earnings. I mean, it's trying to rip back today. I would not be surprised if it ended up ripping back towards the upside, but AMAT, this is brutal, man. Down 11%. Wow. A lot of times following these big drops, we do see slight uptrends like what we're seeing today. I would say if it could break this triple top, potentially look at it coming back a little bit more, but I'm not a huge fan of the overall setup, if I'm being honest. You think he paid market price? Yeah, he had to at some point. Unless he used options, but then again, I mean, love how he's about to die and he's still buying the dip even in death. Juan hitting us with the blunt facts on Warrior Buffet. I like it, Juan. Yeah, it's pretty cool, isn't it? Very cool. Legend of the game. I wonder what people are going to say about Berkshire when he's gone. I always say this, but I feel like whenever he finally passes, now, this might not really happen, but I have a feeling that Berkshire, Berk A and Berk B could end up falling down in the short term on that. I think there would be a lot of confidence lost. Not a ton. It's gonna dump 700K a share. Juan said it's dumping. Autumn she wants a Brazilian buffet. I like those Brazilian steakhouses. Those are pretty nice. Yeah, AMAT really stuck at that triple top. SPY pulling back. I know we've been watching it sell off this morning, but it's trying to pull back to the upside here. It actually had a good wick and bounce around 643, 644. Looking at like the 15-minute chart, it's bouncing pretty well there at 643. That's fire. Autumn's hungry. It's a steakhouse, but buffet style. Oh. Yeah, Bao. They just call that here Brazilian steakhouse. I see what you're saying, though. Yeah, we have those, too. I love those, Bao. Give me the picanha. He's left generational wealth for Berkshire. Yes, he has, Xavier. I hope that the people that take over after him end up being solid. I'm sure they will. Sure they will. Bao knows. Jake says, how's the Putin-Trump meeting going? I heard that the meeting's going on a little later in the day. I heard like 3 p.m. Probably done on purpose, literally so that the market was closed. Not 100% confirmed on that, but let me... Yeah. 11 a.m. Alaskan Daylight Time. Oh my god, I didn't even know that that was a time zone. 11 a.m. Alaska Daylight Time, which comes out to 3 p.m. Eastern Time, if you guys are curious. So 3 p.m. Eastern. 2 p.m. Central, an hour before market close. I've always wanted to try FOGO, Bao. Warren said the company will be fine for the first 5 to 10 years or on autopilot, Tashana said. I know he says that, but... FOGO's amazing. The big thing is really just investor sentiment, right? I think longer term, they're going to be just fine. I just am worried about a short-term drop once the inevitable happens. Oh gosh, Autumn, it's 1 hour earlier than Pacific? That's pretty nuts. I've never looked into Alaskan time before. That's pretty funny. I want to go to one of those places where it stays light outside for like 24 hours straight. You got ICE going to schools on the first day of school. Washington has National Guard being deployed. Think it's going to get a bit crazy, Charles said. Whenever you said ice, I literally thought you meant the snow at first. Now I get what you mean. 330 support coming up on Tessie. Watch out for 330. This could come into play today pretty well. It fell under good support at 335. Watch it to potentially use this as resistance here. City places orders. Might head out. You got your SPLG, QQQM orders in? SPLG continues to look fire with the SPY. Isaac needs a SPY dump. Yeah, me too. Autumn, how's Yum doing? Autumn, that's a pretty funny position, I gotta say. Yum. Doing well, 148. The potato wedges, I love it. 221%. Wow. I was actually talking to Mike about that yesterday, Autumn. We were getting some laughs from the potato wedge play. Jake said, problem with IPOs, you never know when the low is. It takes a long time for them to show profits. Hey, sometimes it works out, Autumn. It does take a long time, Jake. That's a big issue. Yeah, Mason, KFC's bringing back the potato wedges. Yum is moving. On that news. Palantir roaring back to life on the 1 minute, back above 176 resistance. Wow. I guess this is why Palantir's so strong. Michael Stewart said, thoughts on Oklo in the long term. long term for Oklo. I like them in the long term. In the short term, I'm a bit worried that they're going to end up dipping a lot more. You know, these stocks like Oklo have become very overextended here. The KFC drama. It ended up being pretty fire on him, I gotta say. Yeah, Oklo, it's trying to hold support. If we look at the hourly and we zoom out a bit, there's a pretty good support right around this range, $68 to $70 on Oklo, trying to hold up. It's not my favorite play ever, though. Michael actually hopes it drops a lot. Oh, wow. So that you can buy the dip. City said good under 70. Michael wants to make a larger position. Yep. Powell says, I think CoreWeave should be good for the long term since they have a partnership with NVIDIA, and I trust NVIDIA. While that is the case, you still got to be a little careful. Got to be a little careful out there. What's another one? Soundhound? S-O-U-N. I believe they were exploding at like the end of 24 on partnerships with NVIDIA. They ended up pulling back a lot. You know, if we do see some pullbacks with CoreWeave, maybe there could be some good entries. I will say, though, just be aware. Could be tough getting in a little bit too high. Intel's trying to move back up, just P says. INTC trying to keep that overall run going. This stock could get fun. That news that hit late last night was pretty fire with Intel. Looking at Lip Bhutan. Calls him a success days after demanding resignation. His success and rise is an amazing story, Trump said on Truth Social. I found that pretty funny, but it's okay. Trump just had to talk to the guy, and then it was all good. Lip Bhutan must be a good deal maker. What's happening with Palantir? Good morning, David. I like the way it's recovering back, David, but I am watching for a possible hit and then rejection at resistance. I don't see it getting much past 180 to 181 again here. Watch out for resistance. I think it could touch and end up pushing it back down. Chase. Spy had this crazy woman to candle it. 10 a.m. Bought up calls right at the second. 8 trades at a 100% win-loss this week. StockedUp's the GOAT. Let's get it, Chase. He said, thanks to Tom, I'm able to afford a really good divorce attorney. Oh. Well, hey, I'm glad you're able to afford it, Chase. Whoa, what was that? All right, Sir Charles, sorry to keep asking, but is the Michigan consumer sentiment data really worth looking into? You know, it didn't really move the market much today, that's for sure. It's not really that worth looking into. It wasn't something that I was overly worried about today myself. It came in a little bit less than expected at 58.6. The SPY right at 10 a.m. started to actually dip, but then it bounced and moved up. So, pretty weird price action from the initial release of that Michigan consumer sentiment. Again, it wasn't something that I was worried about too bad, but it is something that can move the market from time to time. With it coming in slightly less than expected, I think that's a slight negative, but again, I don't think the market cares all that much. Hell, we saw PPI data go crazy and the market brushed that off like nothing yesterday. Pretty insane how the market keeps doing that. Autumn says, poor Michigan, no one cares. Just give me a Michigan roll. That's all I want. It's the euphoria. It is. A lot of euphoria right now. I would say it was even pretty ridiculous, Sir Charles. It was pretty ridiculous. That was pretty brutal. I thought so too. Even though it ended up coming back up, which, you know, for like the long-term accounts and things like that, awesome. I thought off the PPI data that was a shitty move, honestly. SPY's now actually right in the middle of yesterday's range, still just sitting here. It made a new all-time high this morning, touching 647, but it reminds me of the other day. You know, the SPY touched a new high and tanked down intraday. It looks like a very similar setup to that. Watch for SPY to maybe bounce off these lower support ranges and try to come up and test 645, 645.20. That could be a good potential play for today. See you later, City. Have a great one. Chase said, seriously, I'm just riding puts on resistance and calls on support, but leaning more bullish. I've done 6 calls and 2 puts this week, and Chase is on fire, affording the attorney here. One monitor has a 1 minute, the other has a 3 minute. I think the 3 minute is less chaotic. Chase. Not the fake mics. Let's bring up our watch list here. NIO up 7% today. NIO running from open. That is a good move by them. Intel's around the top of the watch list, which we've known, but it is right around the high of the day again. Might try to go for another run here. A lot of resistance, but it's been pretty hot. Yeah, I know Tom is a guru trying to figure out how to interpret Wexa. Dial in my strategies, Wex said. I like 1 minute candles quite a bit, Weck. I generally stick to 1 minute, but I switch all around, really. One minute and 5 minute, hard to go wrong with in my eyes, especially if you're scalping or looking at intraday moves for sure. But I like also going to hourlies, dailies, and you know, you can do some analysis like at nighttime on like a daily chart that might help you with your day trading. Like if you find a good daily pattern and you say, okay, on the daily chart, I'm expecting most of these candles, or I'm expecting the stock to go up, you know, you can day trade with that mindset, and it might help you to be more confident on breakouts or breakdowns, you know, either one. But Brain says BRLT has a nice daily support. Brilliant Earth. Haven't ever looked at this one, I don't think. BRLT. That is a good daily support. It's exploding recently. I think they had an earnings move, and now the post-earnings move is running up here. BRLT looks pretty hot. That is a good rip right here. Great move on the daily. I think it's a little too crazy for Tom, but it's trying to move. When are they going to start doing those fish fries? When is Lent? February 18th through April. What? I was way off. Don't even ask how I thought about that. That's the most random thought ever. Palantir bouncing down. It bounced up well off 174, 175. Watch 180 though. Big resistance. CELH, everyone's looking at Celsius in the short term. Seeing a lot of hype with it in the Discord. Celsius up 1.6%. Looking at the daily chart, oh my gosh, Celsius. Guys, Celsius went crazy. I've traded Celsius in the past, but wow. That recent gap up and run has been huge from earnings. They are getting back up there. I know a lot of people in the Discord are shareholders of Celsius. I personally didn't get this one, but we're not going to feel the FOMO, right? Right?
How dare you?
Carlos says, is that a bear flag on the SPY on the 5 minute? Let's see. Bear flag on SPY. 5 minute chart. I'm going to go to a 1 minute because I think it'll make it look even better, but you know, it almost is looking like one, Carlos. It's definitely setting up like one. It doesn't always have to play out that way, but it is setting up that way. It seems like it's trying to really bounce off that support here, but get ready for a breakdown. Autumn said, what's a bear flag? Autumn, you don't know what a bear flag is yet? After the stream, go search up flag patterns and check them out, but I'll show you real quick. Here's some flags. This is actually a pretty good picture here. All right, Autumn. So here's some bull flags on the left. Here's some bear flags on the right. We can see where you kind of have a flag pole extending down and then a continuation lower. And that's essentially what we're looking at here with the bear flag. And it almost looks like this. Like, if you're being honest, like it goes down and then you'll get like a wedge of some kind, and then you'll get another drop. And the whole point of it is that this kind of looks like a flag. Now, it looks better on a bull flag because, you know, flags point up into the sky, generally. So, you know, you'll go up like this, you'll have like a wedge, and then you'll run higher. And that's a bull flag, essentially, drawn out very simply. Same thing to the downside, it would just be down, you'd have a wedge, and then a continuation. I know that those are very rudimentary drawings. Those people did it better on that chart that I just pulled up, which I'm going to pull up again right here. But we see this happen quite a bit on continuation setups. And while the stock is at the bottom of the flagpole consolidating for the second move, like literally like right here, when it's in that zone, it's more of just consolidating, right? So you might see it play out like at the bottom. You might see it play out more like this. You might see it channel flat, maybe even like it would drop and then just go flat within a channel like this and then continue lower. You know, there's a lot of ways to look at them, but generally they're all set up like that. They're not my favorite setups, if I'm being honest. I find a lot of traders trying to chase those, and they will look at, let's say, like right now, the SPY, right? They'll look at the SPY and say, okay, this is a bear flag, so I'm definitely going to short the SPY just based off of this and go short it, right? There is a chance, you know, SPY could still bounce and move up here. So if you're super confident in this and you're like, okay, I'm going to get 0 DTEs then because I'm that confident. Well, it's not the best way to go, right? But if you start to identify the lower end breaking down, maybe you can trade a quick scalp down, right? Maybe, you know, a little 2-point move or 1-point move or something like that. You don't have to go too crazy with it. Front running it. You can try, but then again, like I said, I think that there's going to be a lot of scenarios where it doesn't bounce for you, but that's pretty much what they are, Autumn. Yeah, I would say wait until support breaks, personally. Unless you're identifying something awesome. You know, you could always identify like a good resistance hit. Like, let's say that you're getting a bear flag and it's, you know, flagging like this. And let's say it touches resistance perfectly or something. You know, you could always enter at resistance or something along those lines. But I don't generally like just seeing chop and then just trying to buy calls or puts and guessing which way the chop's going to go based off just the flag alone. I do got to say, though, today the SPY's pretty bearish so far from open. So I am a little worried that this could continue down more. Charles said Alaska's going to bomb today. There's no way the market's going to maintain it. That would be rough at the end of the day today, Charles. Yeah, that's a weird scenario there. Yeah, Trump's meeting Putin today. I heard 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, guys, in Alaska. So be ready. The last hour of the day, there could be a lot of craziness going on. Just answered your question, Cloud. Perfect. Kangaroo Golf ordering a hot dog at the turn. Chase sent it in the chat. and off topic. Sometimes you guys are so funny, man. Some of the stuff I see out there. That made you hungry. How's Wendy's today, Autumn? Okay, pretty good. Yum. Holding up well, Autumn. There we go. McDonald's trying to move a little bit. Not near as good as the other fast food stocks today, though. They were yesterday. They were following along yesterday. Today, they're not looking as hot. Autumn said fast food reigns. It really does, doesn't it? I don't know why McDonald's has to be down, but... Xavier, they've actually had that before. An adult Happy Meal, yeah. My fiance used to try to collect them. There used to be some, like, Halloween buckets or something like that for it. She used to try to get them all and had me laughing. It's normally overpriced, Xavier. It's like they charge, like, $3 more so you can get, like, a little plastic cup. It's not generally my thing. I just let my fiance get it, honestly. I've never had it myself. I can't believe that people buy those. Honestly, Autumn. I guess it's a good marketing tactic, though. Get you some nostalgia. Xavier says, I'll stick with the snack wrap. You know what would actually be kind of cool? Now, here's what I would do. What if McDonald's did something where they had, like, random watches, like, in the adult Happy Meal, right? But you had to pay, like, $50. And there'd be random watches. And every once in a while, there'd be, like, an AP or a Rolex or something like that. That'd be kind of cool. I would do, like, a $50 Big Mac for a watch. You know, I think that type of stuff would be neat. Now we're talking adult Happy Meals, right? You know, if you lose, you get a shitty watch. I mean, that's fine. You know, you get a $30 watch then or something. Fine, right? But Autumn goes, that is how you get the men involved. Mason goes, bro, an AP for 50? He'd buy all the Happy Meals around town. Well, it'd be pretty rare, right? But, you know, that's a good point, though. You'd have to somehow max people out, for sure. That is a good point. SPY pulling back very slow here at 643.50. Extremely slow. Chase said I'd buy a $25 Big Mac if it came with a White Claw. Why? How dare you, Chase? We're gonna hit you with it.
How dare you!
Juan said something that actually makes you happy. Mason said this guy I know is in Vegas right now, and his hotel room at Caesars is the one from The Hangover. No way! Like the one where they woke up on the roof? Or where the guy was on the roof? Man. That's iconic right there. The one with Mike Tyson with the tiger. I love those movies, man. I didn't like the third one as much, but Hangover 1 and 2 were really good.
No, there ain't no stopping us. Fly without boarding pass. Couldn't catch me, I be moving fast. Call me a shooting star.
Demure woke up late, man. I keep hearing that in the short term, Demure. Don't be waking up late. He says I keep missing out on some good scalps. Yeah, early in the morning's like the best time, man.
TikTok, what are you gonna do about it?
Oh my gosh. Whoa.
Looking at a shooting star. Got more than a couple of people going mad. I swear they're rooting hard. Tell them I'd be big in a game like she went and got them breast implants. I said I'm moving too fast.
I almost slept in today, Autumn said I really had to talk myself into this. Aw. Well, thanks for being here, Autumn. That's good though. That's good. Gotta wake up, right? Mason says, Chase, you might know the company. It's Four Seasons. Oh gosh. Four Seasons. I feel like that's like that's a wild one, Mason. We got some of those in St. Louis, of course. The Four Seasons in St. Louis actually has a Gordon Ramsay restaurant built into it, I believe. It's pretty sick. I've been there multiple times, actually. Oh, he said not the hotel. He said the heating and cooling company. Oh, my fault. That's a good name for a heating and cooling company, though. Ah, he said he just sold his heating and cooling company for $500 million. Holy shit. Damn, Mason. Yeah, no wonder he's there. Ooh. Demure's looking at ETHW that follows Ethereum. Should I sell or keep holding? His son races for Ferrari. What? Like in Formula 1? Nah, probably Probably like GT2 or GTMLP or something. That's insane, man. All right, Demir said I bought it at $25.70 a share before the run-up. He's talking about ETHW for $25.70 a share before the run. Now, Demir, this is going to be a complicated answer here, but ETHW and, well, Ethereum is at a point where it's pretty much testing its all-time high. I would say it would probably, more times than not, dip down from this point and at least try to test support or something like that before ultimately ripping higher. Could it rip higher from here right away? Sure. But I'm personally a fan on you holding that and letting it play out and understanding that it could dip in the short term for a better overall recovery. Maybe like into the end of the year or at the beginning of next year. But I kind of like holding it, Demir, if I'm being honest. I feel like that Ethereum could break this range. You know, I know it's a big range. It's been going on for a few years now, but it's kind of testing the top end of it. Like, I think there's a good shot it could break. And, you know, these cryptos go crazy, and Ethereum is one of the crazier ones out there. Just some random racing thing. Look up Dave Musial Jr. Dave Musial? Is this a relative to the legendary Stan Musial? Wow. I'm just kidding. David Musial Jr. Let's see. Ferrari. Okay. A Ferrari challenge driver. Wow. He has an Amazon Ferrari car. That's pretty funny. Ferrari challenge 2019. 13.58 career average points. I don't know any of this stuff. What any of this means, but... $71 races. That's pretty fire. Current season, 4th place. Race number 31. Team Ferrari of Lake Forest. That's pretty cool. Man, that's sick. Wow. Mason, that's awesome, man. Look at that vehicle. My gosh. And it even says 4 seasons, heating, air conditioning, plumbing on the car. That's so funny. I didn't realize that it was going to say that on there. Mason said, you love this garage. Dynamic Flicks will get some good content. Hell yeah. My camera guy would really love it. Ooh, sponsored by Richard Mill. That's a good sponsorship there. Rotiform, of course. Man, what a vehicle.
Everything changes.
That's sick. I like cars too much, guys. It's a problem. SPY 5-minute chart rejecting down. 646 pullback coming into play here. Tom, what brand was your first watch? Mine was Fossil. My first watch ever? Let me go look at my watch box. Hang on. Man. Oh, here it is. I think that my first watch ever was a Seiko. It was a Seiko Sport. My second watch ever is a bit better. It's a Meistersinger Pangea Day. My first one ever, though, was a Seiko Sport. I think a Sport 5 or S or something like that. Let's see. It looks exactly like... It looks like this. This is my first watch ever right here. And this is my second one. And this is my second ever watch. I really like this watch. I feel like it looks like the map from Pirates of the Caribbean or something. I love the way it moves around like a globe or Pangea, so to say. You know, I like the way it looks. I want a Bugatti watch with the engine running. Those are pretty cool. I feel like watches now, though, like, whenever I was a little younger and I first got into watches, you know, I used to be more like, always wanting, like, crazy-looking stuff or things with diamonds or, you know, stuff like that. Now I'm kind of more just like, okay, let's just get, like, some collector watches and just hopefully let them appreciate in value a little bit, you know. One of my best friends that I play golf with all the time just bought this, guys. Check this out. He just bought a Pepsi, a Rolex Pepsi. Don't know how much he paid for it or anything, but... My good friend here bought a Pepsi. I've been eyeing that up. Yeah, they are dumb, Mason. I can't stand those. 332 support on Tesla might finally give out today, guys. It's been consolidating forever. Watch for another potential downtrend to come in here at 332. Spy falling again, Perez says. It's testing that low of the day. It kind of looks like Tesla, how it's been consolidating here. But I definitely lean down given the price action right now. At this moment. Wow, United Health is actually jumped the most in 5 years, apparently. That's the headline. The biggest jump in 5 years. Don't forget, guys, Trump is meeting with Putin today. 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Central Time. Get ready. Have you heard about the restaurant on the moon? Yeah, Chase. I saw it in a show called Space Dandy. Chase says, it has great food, but no atmosphere. That's a pretty good one, Chase. I've never heard that one before. That's pretty good. I like that. It's a good Friday funny today. That one deserves a reward. I gotta say, we gotta get some clapping here. Or some laughs. That's actually what we need. Oh, Autumn thought I meant United Airlines. No, sorry. I meant United Health, UNH. I totally get the confusion, though. Normally, people add on the health at the end. I had to make sure in stuff that I've been typing the past couple days that health is added on, because I did understand that that could be a problem. That is a good point. UNH. You're not the first person who I've confused with that, Autumn. It's happened before in the past, too. TSLA dropping. Come on, Tesla. Let's get through that support already. I'm going to pull up the SM bot. Look for some momentum at the moment. Whoa. My RAM is dying, guys. Do you want to hear it again? Oh, gosh. That's terrible. Maybe I do need a new computer, whoever said that at the beginning of the stream. City Junior, I think it might have been. That's Morse code for buy the puts. I know, I can't say it out loud, so I gotta do the Morse. 176 coming into play. That would be funny if someone did that. It's all right, Chase. I knew what you meant. SBET just bounced off of $20 even, down 12%. Puts are on the SM bot, but be careful. It's right on support. BMNR puts are on the SM bot, too. What's up with these two stocks selling off today? Why is BMNR and SBET? It's like the same exact setup almost. Both stocks died this morning. Wex said the Morse code would help. Are you looking for a bounce? 332 on Tesla. Let's see. TSLA 332 holding up. I'm personally watching for a possible breakdown opportunity. I could see it bouncing, though. There is a good shot that it holds this. It's a decent support. But I'm kind of more of waiting for a breakdown. I'm even going to place an alert, so I can be alerted once it does break down. Ryan said, have a great weekend. You too, Ryan. Thanks for joining up every day, always being here. Let's go, man. He said, and go Yanks and Autumn. No. I'm going to place a bet on the Cardinals, man. Gonna bet it up. No, I'm joking. I'm kidding. Ryan said, may the better team win. It's hard to pick the better team between them, but Yankees definitely have it in my eyes. But let's see what they're thinking. What's Vegas pricing in here? I'm just curious. Let's see. As you guys know, I don't bet very often, but it's been a long time, actually, since I placed one. Wow, they have it pretty even. The Cardinals obviously are the underdogs, but it's fairly even there. Cardinals have a pretty bad pitcher going tonight, so Aaron Judge is probably going to hit a bomb. If he's not hurt. Is he hurt? No, there he is. Oh my god. The odds for him hitting a homer are terrible. Plus 180. My gosh, it's better to bet on the Cardinals to win. That's insane, Mason. Take the over. That'd probably be the way to go with these guys tonight. Let's see the over. Over 9? At least it's not 12 or something. But I don't know what it is, Mason, but I've never done overs and unders in baseball. I don't know why. It just... Those ones don't interest me for some reason. I don't know why. 576 coming up on QQQ. Low of the day. Coming into play again. Might see a bounce. Yeah, 9's terrible, man. Both of these pitchers kind of suck. It's like Luis Gil and Palante. And Palante is pretty bad, I gotta say. I'm not expecting Palante to do much. Let me see how Palante has done this year. Andre Palante. With a solid 4.9 ERA this year. I love it. He was a lot better last year. Yeah, you might as well call it 5. 1 is 7.5, Mason said. My gosh. That's what I'm saying, Autumn. I think Judge is going to hit a blast. That's probably the best bet, if we're being honest. Home run bets, though, are tough. Palantir trying to bounce back off 177. Watch Palantir. It's actually forming a bit of an intraday base around here. Around this 177 mark. This is pretty solid, actually. Pretty good base. See if it holds up or not. I like it, though. Pretty great overall. DraftKings has no sweat home run bets on Fridays. I might do Judge. What does that mean? What does that mean, Mason? No sweat. It's hot as hell outside. I don't know what they're talking about. How is 332 still holding up on Tesla? Like, how do you go this flat, Tesla? Like, what's going on? Spy's done it too, though. Both are extremely flat right now. If you bet him and he doesn't get it, you get your bet back in a bonus bet. Really? What if you did like $200? Would they allow it with like $200 or something? Or is there like a limit? I feel like that's like the best thing ever to do. Oh, he said it's only up to 10? Oh. Oh, that's how they get you. I see what you're saying, Mason. I see. Yeah, so you could do 20 and get half back even if you don't get it. Wex says, my GF thinks I'm a guru because of the recommendations I give her. But meanwhile, I'm flat on the year. What? Yeah, they definitely got to make their money, Juan. I was curious, though. I was wishing it was more than 10. You know, that would be fun, though, on people other than Aaron Judge who are like plus 500 or something, though. Like Cody Bellinger or something. That'd be... Open Door? Up 11% today. I've been eyeing up Open quite a bit the past few weeks. You know, it's been on the watch list. It's always at the top. Almost every day. Oh, you got to win your bonus bet then to turn it into real cash. So, Mason, with the bonus bet, how does that work? Can you do, like, whatever you want? Or, like, is it just random? I feel like I would take the bonus bet and put it, like, right into, like, the Dodgers or something. Something, like, with a 70% chance to win or something. Chewy, 2.7% here. $40 coming up. Oh, you can do whatever. Cool. That's cool. Perez says, woof. Taro Wolf. WULF. Up 1.1%. It's pulling back a little bit here. I don't love it right now, Perez. Man, I'm really eyeing up the market here, and I'm not seeing a ton of opportunities at the very moment. I'm just going to start going through every stock on the watch list till I find some that are looking good. TTD. DraftKings up 4%. Let's see. DraftKings. 45.90. There we go. That's a big resistance there. DraftKings, 45.90. How about the Trade Desk? I know we just looked at that one. Tempest, 3.2%. Not TE. Tempest. Again, pulling back here. A lot of pullbacks over the past 30 minutes or so. Snowflake. Let's see. 1.8. Snowflake, pretty good setup here today. 1.8%. Right around $200. It's at $198.50 right now. The high of day is just under $199. Little rough there. Yeah, we got to find that action. That's right. The Metals Company down 11% on their earnings yesterday. That was brutal. It could have been a lot worse than that. Way worse. Still waiting on Lulu to come down. LULU. Wow, Tesla's still holding. Lulu. Might break under 196.50. That'll be a big spot to break down at. Lululemon. Overpriced athletic equipment. Or athletic wares, I should say. Just overpriced clothes in general. I'm actually kind of happy to see him selling off. Just, you know, maybe I'm a hater on Lulu. It's fine. I think it's terrible, though. For the price. You can't just stick it on the Dodgers because for bonus bets, they only give you the profit back. Oh. I see what you're saying, Mason. Yeah. Usually only get the 10. Okay. That's a bit different, yeah. Christian loves Lululemon. You're being a cheap hater. That's all right, Christian. I'm glad I sparked you to comment, though. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm definitely being a Lulu hater. I understand. Do you know one that I like better than Lulu that has good quality too is Fabletics, actually. I found Fabletics to be awesome. I love Fabletics. It's a lot cheaper, but it's like the same stuff as Lulu. Kevin Hart got me into that one. Opinions on gas stocks given the meeting. That's a good question, Robert. You know, watching CVX, British Petroleum, ZOM, Oxy. CVX looks like it's in a crazy setup right here. I think that we could see a pretty good move to the upside. This looks fire here on CVX. I think we could see a breakout. I know, Christian, I feel like a Tom Brady hater right now. You know, it's that's kind of how I feel, but I really like Fabletics, though. I have some Lulu golf pants that are pretty fire, Christian. You get a good discount with Amex? There we go. I didn't know that, Mason. Yeah, I do like these gasoline stocks. If you watch RB, these are gasoline futures. RB recently dipped down in a crazy way. Keep watching CL. We could see crude end up moving. This could be a pretty crazy move. It is in more of a bearish pattern right now overall, but Christian goes, do you do anything athletic? I play golf. Christian, I would actually bet my life that I could run faster than you, Christian. I would bet my life on it. I'm pretty fast. But if we're talking about lifting stuff, you got me. You got me by far. Yeah, for real. Yeah, if you guys didn't know this, Christian is like a brick shit house, literally. Just like built. He owned Christian. Send us a link in the chat. What's your fitness brand again? It's been a while since I've seen it, but Christian actually sells his own products. He goes, I don't think he's running anywhere anytime soon. That's funny. Maybe we should see who lifts the most in comparison to their body weight. Christian, what was your website again? If you don't mind. CL64. Yeah, I mean, crude oil's in a pretty bad downtrend right here. I think that there could be some crazy volatility with the meeting between Trump and Putin. But I think it's very difficult to guess on which exact direction, because you have to really kind of do like almost like an earnings guess. You know, you're kind of just guessing on how the meeting's going to go, right? Beer is heavy. Go, Mason. I lift beer. That's funny. XLV is on fire. Healthcare. Yeah, this is a really nice setup. XLV, if we look at the trend line on the daily chart, these higher lows are fantastic right now. Christian's not into playing any sports. I don't blame you there, Christian. You know what? Ever since I got out of ever since I turned 23, all I've done is just play golf, man. I haven't played any other sports. No baseball, no football, basketball, nothing like that. I don't know what it is. I used to love them, but not worth my time anymore. Yeah, it is. It's more just relaxing, yeah. And, you know, it keeps you like a little competitive mindset, right? Oh, my God. Could you... Mason, could you imagine Christian trying to swing the golf club? Get to be outdoors. Man, Tesla. I've been eyeing up Tesla so much on the daily chart here. Look at this big wedge that Tesla's been in right here. Christian, do you have any Tesla right now? I know Christian always likes the Tessie. Sure, you got some for the long term for sure, probably. But it's looking pretty solid. I've been waiting for a good breakout above this wedge. I've been watching and waiting. I hope that we do get a good reaction here. Oh, he put the link in the chat. It won't let him post the link in the YouTube, probably. Here it is. Rebuilt. This is Christian's website, guys. This is dope, Christian. There's Christian right there. There he is. I told you, a brick shit house. I do gotta say, Christian, you look kind of like a Navy SEAL or something. If I had to pick. We were at 348 2 days ago. They try and shake out the weak hands and the options players. It really had a big fake out right here, Christian. I'm not going to call it a fake out, but consolidation nonetheless. I'm sure a lot of newer traders got screwed there looking for the breakout. I'm definitely watching it very close, though. I like the way that it has these higher lows forming. It's pretty fire. Powell says, sorry, Christian. I like Lulu, actually. That's hilarious, Powell. Powell's like, I'll never hate on anything again that Christian likes. Free play RUN Sunrun. Up to 11.40, 11.50. Sunrun up 7% today. Looking at Sunrun, it had that great run with earnings and even a good continuation a couple weeks ago. Today, it's coming up off the dip. This could be a good next couple days for Sunrun. You know, we start to see another continuation come in, maybe another possible uptrend. They've been dipping a lot on the daily. Trying to base down here at the bottom. This is a good move here. I love this to the upside, actually. I see this play out a lot where we get a good gap up, whether it's earnings or just good news in general. And the stock doesn't always have to fill it, but it trades down and consolidates following the gap up, kind of like literally right here. And then it ends up exploding. You know, we've seen this play out a lot recently on a lot of bullish trends and a lot of bullish plays. One that I'll go look at is Palantir. It's done this a lot with Palantir in the past. So like we see Palantir, you know, they'll have like a good gap up and then a consolidation. Right now they're kind of consolidating like that, but you know, this is a good example. You know, good gap up, great continuation for a few days, consolidation, but ultimately ended up running higher off the bounce. I do think that Sunruns looks a little different than this one, of course. Every stock's different. If we go to some other growth stocks out there, like let's just choose CoreWeave or something like that. You know, obviously this one's like a new IPO. The gap ups and gap downs aren't as crazy. But again, it just goes to show, like, once you see those periods of consolidation and we hold support, you can see those good runs and moves come into play. It's another one. Roblox. Roblox has some good examples of this, where they will gap up, consolidate, and then end up ripping more over time. Christian said, UNH is breaking out. I am in calls. Nice, with Warren Buffett. Although he has shares, but nonetheless. Runs in fear, man. They spy bouncing back, Adrian said. Gosh, UNH is, though. UNH is bouncing back. SPY, yeah, it's bouncing back for right now. Pretty good hold at that double bottom, 643.50. Not bad at all. Nice hold there. Left one runner. There we go. Getting some dubs in there. What are your levels to watch overhead on UNH? My bookmark is down. Oh, don't call it the bookmark. Oh, no, Isaac. Here, I'll pull up UNH for you since you can't have it. The bookmark. I love that, Isaac. That's funny. Isaac knows, guys. Looks like 320, 310. 320 and 310 are the biggest on UNH right now. 310, I would say, is very solid this morning. As we zoom out more, 325 is really where the big resistance is overhead. 325 has seen a lot of action. I would be a little wary there. Past 310. But alrighty, guys, I think we're going to go ahead and call the stream here. I appreciate everybody for joining up today. I appreciate it. If you need anything, of course, let me know in the Discord. And as always, I hope that you guys have a great weekend. Let's go. Get out there. Get some rest. Have some fun. Do whatever you need to do to be ready for next week. But come back ready, because next week is going to be a wild one. Let's go ahead and look at the earnings really fast. I believe NVIDIA reports next week. Maybe it's the week after. Maybe. Might be the week after. Let me triple check. Damn it, it's the week after. But nonetheless, next week, Walmart, Target, BJ's, Home Depot, lots of consumer-related stocks reporting next week. Watch out for possible headlines saying consumers are feeling pressure or if Walmart says that people aren't spending as much or something of that nature, that is what I think could end up being a bit scary for the stock market. Other than that, though, I appreciate you all joining up. Let's have a great weekend. And like Christian said, let's make some money. Love y'all. See you later. Thank you, Chase.